Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Cracking the Case. Today, we're looking at the case of Mr. Brooks, a teacher who is gay, coming back to his hometown to take care of his mother who has cancer. However, his hometown is still very conservative and doesn't particularly welcome gay people. When offered a teaching position at a middle school, he opens to Miss Patterson, the principal, that he's gay. To his relief, she responds that she is on his side and that there are two other faculty members that are also gay. So, everything seems fine for half of the school year for Mr. Brooks, who has been hiding his orientation until one day when Jeremy, one of Brooks' students, asked him in front of the class if he's gay. Jeremy found out from his older brother, who found out through Facebook. When asked, 1/3 of his students revealed that they already knew about this as well. Unfortunately, many parents have also found out and are making complaints to Miss Patterson about the situation, even requesting to have their kids moved to a different classroom. Miss Patterson wants to figure something out with Mr. Brooks. Let's take a look at this case and its problems and various perspectives. The problems we have are that the students have alienated Mr. Brooks in front of the whole class. Mr. Brooks first wants to dismiss the accusation as it is a discussion that would not be appropriate at school, but then attempts to address it. Parents are calling the school to complain about Mr. Brooks' sexual orientation and want their kids out of his classroom. Brooks' personal and professional life are colliding, causing tension in the classroom. Brooks should have corrected Jeremy when he made the comment but didn't. The perspectives we have to consider are Mr. Brooks, Miss Patterson, other teachers and staff, parents, students, and the community. Again, we want to then look at the possible opportunities and challenges. The opportunities that present themselves are that having a supportive principal, the school has the opportunity to address diversity acceptance with the entire student body and parents. Mr. Brooks and students can gain a new perspective on each other through open-minded thinking. Mr. Brooks can showcase his teaching abilities and demonstrate that his sexual orientation is not the only thing that defines him as a teacher. The school can address the usage of social media and how it is not a valid source of news. Teachers and parents have the opportunity to address the appropriate time to discuss personal lives. There is the opportunity for Mr. Brooks to acknowledge with his students that he is gay, but that can also end up being a challenge. Speaking of challenges, Mr. Brooks feels singled out as the cause for the uproar from parents. Parents want an outcome that does not involve Mr. Brooks. Ms. Patterson has to resolve conflict between parents, school, administration, and teachers. Brooks needs to determine an appropriate time to talk to Jeremy about discussing personal information. What are the equitable outcomes we want to see out of this? Well, if the principal and school addresses the acceptance of diversity, teachers and students will feel more free to be themselves. Mr. Brooks should be defined for his positive attributes that reflect his skills as a professional educator. And parents will be reassured that the safety and well-being of their children is the school's top priority. What can be done immediately to address the situation? Ms. Patterson can support her teacher when communicating with parents, and Mr. Brooks can review proper classroom behavior expectations. Let's then discuss the longer-term policy and practice adjustments. First, consult the district for assistance in addressing the issue in a wider sense to help prevent any future uproar. Then, Ms. Patterson can encourage other gay teachers to reach out to Mr. Brooks and connect them as a means of a support group. Afterward, have the student council organize an annual diversity celebration. Through all these, we hope that the school will develop a training program in order to change the school culture to be more inclusive. An acceptance policy is developed that encourages students to treat others as they would want to be treated regardless of opinions. Parents become educated and are able to see that there are effective teachers regardless of sexual orientation. Addressing diversity in an annual school event will allow students, parents, and teachers to know the school's acceptance of everyone. Just like before, this is only our solution to this case. And before we go, we always like to ask you one question. What's your strategy? Thank you for watching. I'm Marco Nickel, signing off.